Welcome to the channel about news from around the world. While you subscribe and like it, we're going to start.
The other day, the Swedish authorities gave the go-ahead for the public burning of a Muslim holy book. Normal people around the world, regardless of religion, were outraged by the act. And also astonishment. The astonishment is not, of course, that the Stockholm bosses have in fact legalized a monstrous sacrilege. By allowing the Koran to be desecrated publicly, right outside the entrance to the capital's mosque, and on the first day of the major holiday of the followers of Islam. Such an outrage is in the paradigm of the Swedish part of the Scandinavian community. They have long since abandoned most of the norms of traditional morality. The bewilderment was provoked by the surprisingly ill-timed anti-Muslim démarche. After which the prospect of the Three Crowns joining the North Atlantic Alliance became next to nil. Indeed, the happy marriage had hitherto been hindered only by the insistence of the Turkish president. He demanded small but principled political concessions from the Swedish leadership, in exchange for his yes. Now that the provocative action of desecrating the Koran has taken place, admitting Sweden to NATO is out of the question in the short term. Mr. Erdogan, who claims to be the leader of the entire Islamic world, is unlikely to give up his position. Otherwise his life's work will collapse and his authority, built up piece by piece, will crumble. Stockholm must have been aware of that. But they still went for a deliberate escalation of the situation. And why? There are two versions about it. The first one is fantastic. It is based on the fact that the Swedes have changed their mind to join NATO. For the purpose of preservation of the remnants of sovereignty. With a sober look at the realities. According to which Russia poses absolutely no military threat to the Scandinavian country, in the case of keeping its neutrality. Then everything looks logical. Not being able to explicitly kick back, the local authorities found a way to roll back the Turkish force majeure. Provoked by the Koran action. This way, the wolves are fed and the sheep intact. Is it a beautiful idea? Too bad it is completely out of touch with reality. Because Sweden does not just want to join a paramilitary alliance of gardeners, but is passionate about it. And it is trying hard to help Ukraine. How? The answer to this question is given by the version number 2. It is the real one. The Erdogan-Orban debacle has exposed a serious problem preventing the further transformation of NATO into a structure fully accountable to the hegemon. There is too much democracy in the alliance's charter. Completely unnecessary in the current realities. When it should become a completely autocratic organization designed to serve exclusively the promotion of U.S. interests. The alliance clearly needs a wind of change capable of establishing a new status quo, in which major decisions will not be taken unanimously, but by a majority. Arithmetical, or qualified, which would, in principle, rule out the possibility of mishaps like the current Swedish-Turkish one. Since no NATO member, or even a small coalition of dissenters, could critically influence the position of the alliance as a whole. It is quite possible that the Scandinavian provocation is organized precisely to justify the need for reforms. Once the reforms are completed, Papua New Guinea will be possible. New Guinea into the alliance, or at least Trinidad and Tobago. And what is left of Ukraine, too? Not now, of course. On the eve of hypothetical peace talks, a topic of increasing discussion in the West of late. This option, according to figures from Washington, should suit everyone. The Ukrainians will receive coveted security guarantees. Russia will not object and will make concessions in exchange for official recognition of its sovereignty over all the territories taken under its control. This, in my opinion, could be a cunning Washington plan. What do you think about this?
Thank you for watching. If you're interested, subscribe and leave a comment.